Getting ready for my pro day right here.
Mahomes, Josh Allen gets all these calls. When Josh Allen does, or anybody, the slowing down for going out of bounds. Guy.
I think it's chess, not checkers. I'm a fan of it only because I used to do that in high school and I've gotten 15-yard penalties for it. There's obviously a lot of levels to it. I still got the itch. I still got the bug. I'm looking to still play. It's a cool experience and I'm enjoying the hell out of it right now. So as soon as he said that, light bulb went off my head and I was like, all right, this isn't football. I was like, this is a way different ball game here. This is different. We gotta actually stop. I was thinking as a football player rather than thinking as, all right, somebody who's trying to get the best times they can in these drills. I really want to be someone who does it, who comes from the smallest state, who went the public school route, who wasn't highly recruited, all those things stacking up. I think that I definitely hold that pridefully and hold that on my shoulder. And I don't know why. I really can't tell you why it still ignites a fire in me, but something in me just wants to make that happen for the state.
Four. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the EG Pot of Thunder with your boy, the young light-skinned Keith Sweat. Back with my guy Cam for his first solo episode. My guy, welcome back,
man. How we doing? Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Chill, man. Just living life.
Hell yeah.
Trying to get like you, man. Looking all shredded and announcing right underneath you right now. If you want to get into it, it's right underneath you if you want to give that little introduction.
So, yeah, getting ready for my pro day right here. Dropping it down, that's where it is. So, yeah, getting ready for my pro day. Really excited for the opportunity, kind of, looking forward to get it going.
Yeah, man, so how did that process go, the journey? I kind of talked about it, before with Fredo, kind of off camera, not on camera. So, I didn't get the opportunity to play in college, and I definitely didn't get the chance to announce to get a pro day. So for those who don't know, you're freshly in it right now. So what's that journey getting to the pro day, even opportunity?
So there's obviously a lot of levels to it. You have the dudes who are going to the combine who competed this last weekend, right? Obviously, right? People want to see them. People want them to come, right? And then the further you drop down in levels, scouts will come request to see you. And then you can, basically go. Either if your school hosts one, if your school's big enough, they'll host one. If not, it'll be like a regional thing. So I'm basically just, I talked to my coach. I was like, hey, after the season, I still got the itch. I still got the bug. I'm looking to still play. So, I'd like to continue this process. And, they're helping me get a pro day. So basically, because Central Connecticut's a smaller school, they don't host one. He's just trying to get us in a spot to be able to go out there and compete. So it's cool. It's a really cool process, even though it is, obviously on the smaller side of, the whole draft process and things like that. It's a cool experience, and I'm enjoying the hell out of it right now.
That's dope, man. So you're saying does every senior on the team get a chance to get a pro day? How does that work?
You could. Yeah. No, you could. I mean, anybody really can. I'm in that boat. I'm not a highly sought after, prospect. So, I'm doing a lot of the legwork on my own. But I'm, I told him, I really do want the opportunity to continue to play. So they're kind of just, and then it becomes from them, just talking with coaches and things like that and scouts to be able to put their guys in certain facilities and certain pro days, things like that. So I'm pumped.
So I'm not familiar with this. So just because you went to Central Connecticut, you transferred from Stonehill. So because Central Connecticut is D1, does every D1 player get it? Because from my knowledge, people who are in D3, they're not guaranteed pro days.
No. So they're going to have to it's honestly, it's very, I'll say touch and go. That's not the right thing I'm looking for. I'm drawing a blank here. But it's very much kind of if you're basically, the classic, if you're good enough, they'll come find you, right? So the lower you go in levels, it becomes more reliant on a scout noticing you and requesting to see you somewhere. So that's more where the people from 1AA and under will have to, the process they'll have to go through. But needless to say, if a scout still doesn't come see a kid from 1AA or under, wherever it is, right, their coach can still vouch for them to get a pro day and still have conversations with either scouts or other people who are hosting pro days, bigger schools, things like that. So while it's it's a little bit of a cloudy process, there isn't no set in stone, kind of path. It is basically kind of just the first step you take is, are you willing to, or like, do you still want to play? And you say, okay, either yes or no, and you answer that question yourself. And then, you kind of ask your coach and kind of go through the process. And then honestly, after that, it's about getting an agent, which I'm still trying to find. I mean, that's the hard. I think that's honestly harder than getting a pro day, because your coach, if you express it enough to your coach, they can help you out. I mean, football world, as big as it is, it's very small. There's a lot of connections, right? So people really, a lot of people have coached in a ton of different areas across the country and have connections all over. So that usually isn't as hard as getting an agent from a lower level perspective. Like that's hard for, especially I'll say from my shoes right now, because an agent is, being an agent, it's an investment, right? You're basically your stocks are humans at that point, right? So if I'm an agent and I'm looking at a bunch of people and I'm like, all right, I want to take this kid, and this kid because they're projected first, second, and third round, or you're gonna take a kid like me who's clawing and scraping and trying to make it.
They're banking on like the Malcolm Butlers.
Yeah. Exactly. You're banking on a kid like, okay, I got a kid who I know is going to get signed and I know I'm going to get paid, or I got a kid who can, kind of a shot in the dark. So they only take every agent or agency only takes a couple of those kids. So it's kind of tough to be able to find the right fit.
So when you're doing that, is this strictly like the pro days are they strictly for NFL, or is like XFL looking at, UFL now? So is the UFL looking at these pro days?
Yeah. The UFL starts a little earlier, so it's a little bit harder for a kid coming right out of their first draft class to get into the UFL because they start early. But yes, the CFL will be there. NFL, obviously. I'm sure UFL personnel, people talk. A lot of those guys have been circulating through all different leagues. Even Europe, like Arena League, there'll be representation from pretty much every professional football asset you have.
So what's my guy Cam's end goal here? Like, is it strictly NFL, or are you looking like any opportunity comes your way?
Listen, if one of the 32 teams comes knocking on your door and says, hey, you want to come play? There's no point in my body that's going to say no,
of course,
right?
Yeah.
And that's obviously the goal. You shoot for the top. But realistically, I think my skill set and kind of just the way I play the game and kind of the way I'm built, I think I could really excel in the CFL level. They have the extra man on the field. The extra man, it's a wider field. The slot does a lot of like pre-snap motion, and you kind of, you can come down to the line, do a lot of like digging out and like gritty work. So that really fits my resume pretty well. And now the battle is, just doing what I do in front of somebody that wants to take a shot on me.
For sure. So the CFL, the CFL goes there too. I didn't even know that. Yeah. Do you know like the rate right now is like more people going from CFL to the league or like UFL? I know UFL got a pretty good amount of people.
That's a good question. I know that I think. Listen, I don't know for sure. I think that it's a lot more fluid than it was like in the past. I think there's a lot more jumping around and being able to take the step up. But I'm not sure. I think that I'm pretty sure UFL is a lot more guys who've had the NFL and CFL experience who have come down to that league to play, and are looking to get back up. I know. I just see it just based off my being in the States and your Instagram feed and things like that, your Twitter feed. You see a lot more of the UFL guys. He was signed, he was brought into a tryout, things like that. So I don't know too much about how the fluidity is through the CFL, but I from what I see, it is pretty good.
Do you know a lot of people who have played in UFL?
I know. So Andrew Jamil. He was before the merger. He played with the Orlando team that was it ended up getting dropped out in the merger, but he played there. Ant Witherstone, he was with the Battlehawks quick, and now he's back in the CFL. Actually, he was with the Chiefs, Winnipeg, the Battlehawks, which is based out of St. Louis, and now he's signed and he's going up in May, shipping up to the BC Lions.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah.
So you just mentioned those guys right there. Are you like in communication for like advice or anything like they can take your way?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm pretty much banging on the doors of everybody who's kind of done it before me and kind of just taking every bit of advice they have for me. I'm blessed to work out with Ant every day. So I'm pretty much working out with a true pro, seeing his process and being able to just kind of steal anything he has to his normal routine and try and include it in mine.
You can't give all the secrets, but what's a couple of things you've learned dealing with Ant?
Patience. Like Ant's a perfect case of just patience. He he kept coming out of Merrimack. Everyone told him really kind of laughed at him like, you're not a pro. He trained at the same place I'm training right now. Absolutely crushes pro day. I mean, Ant's a freak athlete and a great football player, so that's not a surprise to me. But he crushes pro day. Got brought into the Chiefs rookie minicamp, survived in advance, made it to OTAs, made it to the preseason. He was killing it, and then it's just the name of the game. But unfortunately, he got injured in his first preseason game, and they moved on. But I mean, he was on the trajectory to really make a name for himself, and then he didn't quit. Is the point of it? Like, he didn't just stop. Went to Winnipeg, unfortunately battled another injury. Finished out with the Battlehawks quick at the end of their season, and then now he's signed and ready to go to the CFL. So I mean, his just patience and constant work ethic, I mean, it's really rubbed off on me because I'm a lot more emotional than him, and I'm a lot more, and I voice it and I show it a lot more. And just even seeing him work out, we're not even competing, right? He's doing his workout, I'm doing my workout, and we're on two different, separate plans right now. But just seeing the way he approaches his workouts and just how he's patient with his process, I think that's something I've really taken and kind of, just it's a step, it's one foot in front of the other.
Yeah, for sure. You guys are not competing, it's helping each other out, but it's definitely good having that, training partner where you're like, dude, putting up 300. All right, now I gotta do 310 now. I
mean, even that, he's helping the hell out of me, like, just train for all the drills, like all the little, there's so many, like, it's so specific, it's crazy, like training for the combine and training for a pro day, like, it's not just athleticism, like there's a skill to each drill that I'm learning, and I'm thankful for my trainer Wayne Gray that I'm with right now, and he's just allowing me to excel the best I can. But Ant also, he's done the process, but not only that, he's done it with Wayne. So I mean, I basically have, every time I'm out there running or prepping for a drill, I have two sets of eyes on me. One who's a trainer looking out for me, obviously trying to get me better, and two, somebody who's come through this process and this program who knows kind of the ropes and what I need to do, and explain it to me in football terms, or kind of show it to me in different ways. And that's something that, like, I'll hit a rep of something and we video it, we're videoing everything, breaking it down. Like, we're working with tenths and hundredths of seconds here. Like, it's very, very detailed. And I got two sides of what they saw, how to apply it to me, and how to, I just appreciate the hell out of them just invested in me to get better.
Do you have like a clip in mind that you store and you're like, okay, I see where I went wrong there. Let me improve upon it.
Yeah, right. The first thing, right off my 40 stance, and the way he runs, he gets so out of the 40 stance, basically your the most important part is just that triple extension right off that first step, right? And he could just show up any given time and hit it great, hit a perfect rep. And I was struggling with that in the beginning of my prep, to really just be patient with the just allowing myself to fully use my power. And he broke it down to me right away. He was like, hey, you're not trying to outquick somebody. You're not trying to beat somebody around the edge. Like, it's not like you're not trying to run around somebody, like you're trying to get open. He's like, you fully need to feel the whole patience and the full push of this, and able to get all the power you can to, allow you to drive and continue on the 40. So as soon as he said that, light bulb went off my head, and I was like, all right, this isn't football. I was like, this is a way different ball game here. This is different. We gotta actually stop. I was thinking as a football player rather than thinking as, all right, somebody who's trying to get the best times they can in these drills. So his guidance through that. Another one is like the 3-cone drill, coming around the second. So you touch, come around the first cone, then you got to come around the second cone, and after that second cone is where you hit the bend and you come to the finish line. And Ant's a corner, I'm a receiver. I'm running to the second cone and I'm pushing my route depth, if that makes sense, because that's how I'm programmed, that's how I'm trained. And then I'm dropping my weight to get around the cone. He's like, no. He's like, don't push your route depth. This isn't like you got to hit 10 yards on a curl or whatever the route you may be. You have to have your weight preloaded so that you can burst around the cone and be able to have full force through the finish line. Light bulb. Wow. Okay. Something, without him there, I would have probably had to hammer that and figure it out on my own for the next 3-4 weeks for the light bulb to go out on my own, instead of me able to rep the right technique for those extra 3-4 weeks.
Isn't that crazy though? You've been playing football for what, like 16 years before that?
Bro, almost 20 now, dude. Like
20
3 or 4. Yeah, almost 20.
20 years, and like you're just learning this stuff right now.
Yeah.
Do you think like that's something maybe why the kids from Florida, Texas, down south is excelling? Because they have all these coaches that are pumping out kids from the league they have nonstop 24/7 footballs on their mind. Up here, we're not really having that. Imagine if you had these coaches your entire life, or if you were training with Ant your entire life. Do you think you'd be in a better position now? You think that's something Rhode Island's lacking?
Yes, I think I'm kind of like on the fence with that argument. I think 100% that Rhode Island definitely needs more exposure to these things, and I'm also on the fence of you got to get up and get it. Like I think it's a lot on you too, and it's a lot of if you want it, you'll get it.
Oh, for sure. But if it's all on you, but you still need that guidance. Like you were for as long as I'd known you, even when I didn't personally know you, I always heard about your name, your work ethic. You can have the work ethic, but if you don't have like the proper tools, like guidance from these coaches, like some of these coaches in Rhode Island, for Pop Warner, they're just their parents. Mm-hmm. If down south, high school, Pop Warner, they're not parents. They're actual coaches helping these kids out. You're not getting the X's and O's from these coaches, not you specifically, but in Rhode Island, Maine, all up north, you're not getting that same coaching you're getting down south.
Oh, exactly. I mean, and that's a fact. I want to bite my tongue and not say that because I'll rep Rhode Island until I die. But I mean, that's it's unfortunate because the talent we have here and the coaching we have here and the football minds we have here are great and they can compete with anybody. But it's the fact that Rhode Island is just not as experienced as all these other states, and that's just a time thing. Now, granted, are there things we can put in place and to get better? Mm-hmm. Sure, but it's a lot easier said than done. I think that the first step is, I don't even know what the first step would be. Honestly, it's just being able. It's getting out of Rhode Island. And what I mean by that is, yeah, dude, you're good because you live in Cranston. You're good because you live in Providence. You're good because you live in NK. But guess what? You got to go play somebody from Ohio. You got to play somebody from Texas, Florida. There's 15 of you on their team. There's 20 of you on their team. Yeah. And that side of the argument is where, yes, I do think that experience is needed. How to gain that experience? That's tough. Do you want to say 7-on-7? I don't know. Do you want to say non-league games? Well, then that's way above me just sitting here talking on a mic. There's a lot that goes into that. It's contracts, school systems, things like that. And then on the other side of it, it's how much do you believe in yourself and how willing are you to go get what you say you want to go get, right? You just mentioned that, okay, you knew me from a distance at West. Was I under a great wing of mentors and coaches? Absolutely. But did I know what I know now? No. And that's life. But I think that was what was able to allow me to be able to even just step in the door at college football, not even play or be able to develop myself into the player I was. I woke up with the fire inside of me, and it would wake me up in the morning before my alarm clock. That I needed to go get better. I wanted to go get better. And I think that almost is sometimes a little bit more important at a younger age than the coaching and things like that.
Definitely, for sure. And I just asked you, what advice have you taken from Ant and Andrew? But what advice would you give your West self and then yourself going into Stonehill?
Yeah, damn. What advice would I give my West self? Honestly, just be where your feet are. Like, I feel like that's so, you can apply that to life, but I feel like I was very much, I definitely worked out of fear of being average and not, excelling to what I thought I could be. I was fortunate enough to grow up under a bubble, especially in the football world, with my dad and my grandpa and my family coming before me. And my football name, I definitely grew up under a magnifying glass, and I think that really lit a fire under my ass. Like, I got to make this work, and I really want to, be the best one to come. I wanted to be better than the ones that came before me and kind of, set a new standard. And I think that's what really allowed me to, kind of just work my ass off. But I think being where my feet are, I mean, a lot of times, you're thinking about the next thing, or instead of just putting all your energy into what you have right in front of you. And I think that just goes for anything, obviously, but that's a big one that I wish. I worked hard, and I'm happy I worked hard. But I think that, if I just was just present a little bit more, I think on the mental side of things, I would have just got a little bit more out of it. And then going into Stonehill, just slow down. I was very much, in a rush to match and then excel and advance the career I put together at West. And there's a lot more that goes into it than just, trying hard. I was switching positions. I'm not at quarterback. You get the ball every play. I made the decision every play. Guess what? I'm playing receiver now.
That must have been huge.
It was a real hard mental jump for me. Not football, obviously football wise. Yes, I had to learn a lot, but as far as being the dude, right? Guess what?
Your ego hard.
I could have a sick game. A sick game is maybe 3 catches for 40 yards, a bunch of nice third down blocks, a first down. Like, that's a sick game for me at a slot.
Yes. Especially, too, like, the other side people probably don't talk about as often is when you're making the play, every single play at West.
Yeah.
And your dad's going, oh, he's at the coach. But, maybe your mom in the stands going crazy. Now it's like, damn, does my dad think I'm doing good? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because every play, you're like, you have this opportunity to take it to the house. This one's, like you said, the great play is making a block, which majority of people don't notice unless it's like your dad is like, oh, great block. But, like, say if you're a random cousin, like, female cousin who doesn't know anything about football, they're just like, is Cam even playing?
Exactly. And that's exactly the hump I had to get over, right? I could have a really good game and touch the ball 2-3 times as opposed to I was touching the ball every single time at West.
3 in the series. You touch it every damn series.
Oh, yeah,
times.
exactly. And I was, thankfully how I was raised and just how I viewed football, I'm willing to, do all of that. And that was an easier pill for me to swallow than it could have been. And I'm happy. And I kind of found myself more as a football player because my dad was my coach my whole life, right? My dad was my coach my whole life. I viewed football, not that it was, I learned football fantastically. He taught the game fantastically. My dad's being everywhere I have been now and experiencing a ton of different coaching philosophies. My dad still, non-biasedly, is the best coach I've had. And I'll stand on that. But growing up with him as your coach, you learn football through his lens. So now I get to college, I have a wide receiver coach, I have an offensive coordinator, I have a special teams coordinator, and I have a head coach, all teaching me the game through their eyes, language, schemes, fits, certain play calls, and I really enjoyed being able to learn from all of those different people because now I just feel like my football vocabulary and my football knowledge it grew, and I tell everybody, like, I had, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. I had 8 receiver coaches.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
7 at Stonehill, and then my Coach Johnson this past fall at Central. So you're talking getting comfortable and getting familiar with how someone coaches, and then next semester, new philosophy, while still trying to complete the same goal of the offense.
So do you feel it when people say quarterback in the NFL, they have a new offensive coordinator every year? I don't think people understand. People
don't understand. Offensive coordinator is way different too. Receiver coach, granted, you teach the same skills in maybe different ways, right? You learned it a different way or it's a different philosophy, but at the end of the day, you're getting to the same things, just like an offense. But with an offense, learning an offense is learning a new language. So you see some of these quarterbacks who have had 8, 9, 10 offensive coordinators in their career, they're fluent in 9 languages, essentially, right? You may call, it's insane. Like, and the worst part is, right, say we called, all right, say our Hail Mary call was blue, right? And now I get a new offensive coordinator, and now when I call blue, we're running power. So it's just like
all
recycled words, processing, different reads. It's honestly, there's so much that goes into it.
Yeah, so that's tough. Like I say, like I know the thing about Ochocinco when he came to the Patriots was he just couldn't get down the playbook.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, well, Brady and Gronk have had it down pat with each other for 4 or 5 years. You can't compete with 4 or 5 years compared to 1 year for a new receiver. And that must be so difficult for for new quarterbacks. But that's definitely a process.
I mean, in football, like, don't get me wrong, the concepts stay the same, right? It's just being able to retain and understand how the new communication is in order to complete those same processes. So that it's simple when you say it like that, but when you're making split-second decisions and, things like that. Obviously, shit gets a lot more complicated.
Yeah, okay, yeah, for sure. But do you remember, what's, one of the play calls that you were just like, damn, I hate this play because it was so long? Do you have, was your plays really long formatted?
So at Stonehill, we were very much, a lot of football is word association, but it was very much more concept related, I'll say. And at Central Connecticut, it was much more tagged. So that was obviously a big jump for me. And I definitely did better initially learning the offense. I did better learning the concepts first than I did the tags, just because the tags, it was the same thing. It was the same routes, but we called them different things. So I was learning the same routes, but in a different language. So my mistake was, looking back on it now, for the first week or 2 weeks of camp at Central, I was processing the play call and translating it into my old terminology and then going to execute. And that got me in trouble sometimes.
Or a couple times, who knows?
Yeah, no, a couple times. I ran, nothing too funny. You think you ran a real nice ass route, and then you look and it was like a run to the left or something. Like I had a couple of those where I just thought I cooked a kid and was looking back for the ball, and we just totally probably ran a screen left or something like that.
That's funny. I'm sure it was not funny.
No, looking back on it was funny.
But in the moment, you're like, fuck.
Yeah.
Let's drop down the goddamn depth chart. I just talked about this the other day, actually. Oddly enough, it was against West. I remember it was at Saints. I played at Saints, and we did a jet sweep to Gene. He took it to the house, and I just moved before the snap flag called back. Yeah. I got eaten alive. Yeah. I got eaten alive.
Yeah.
Then you guys proceed to kick your ass.
Yeah, you want to hide, dude. That's so bad, especially when you take a touchdown too.
Touchdown.
Yeah, bro, you got to run away.
That was the worst.
You got to run away.
That was the worst.
That's a top 5 worst feeling in the world, dude. That's bad.
How mad were you when you guys scored and a receiver did what I did?
Oh, I'll tell you, I got a play from college, and it still kills me because
you scored.
I didn't score, but it was a nice play. So my sophomore year, we're playing at Southern Connecticut. I'm having a good game. I ended up having, I had 2 touchdowns coming out of the first half. My first year playing, I say sophomore, but it was COVID, so it was my freshman year. I'm like, all right, damn, I'm ending the season strong. We're going well, building a little name for myself, going to the next. And then I'm the personal protector on punt too, so I'm which was crazy. I don't know why I was doing that. I'm way too little to do that. I'm just blitzing linebackers up the A gap. I'm having a shield. Yeah, right. But then we have a fake in, and we're finally running it, and I'm like, here we go. This is why I just absolutely just took on blitzing linebackers for a whole 3 months before this. So bang, get the fake, parts like the Red Sea. I'm running as fast as I can. The returner's the only guy who's coming up on me now. The returner comes out to me. I gave him a 1-2, and I'm more of a physical runner than I am a finesse runner, but I made him drop. He hit the deck. I don't really do that too much. So I was like, oh shit, turn the corner, and I'm running. Somebody peeled off, tackled me at the 5. We're ready to score and just absolutely put the nail in the coffin on this game. And that's after my 2 touchdowns. I'm going crazy on the sideline. I get up going crazy. Flag. I'm like, what's the flag? I'm not going to say a name. Great kid. I'm not going to say a name. I love you to death. Our senior captain and 2-time special teams player of the year, who was playing gunner, was on the ball, and we were deemed ineligible.
Oh my, it's even worse. When it's
off the ball, off the ball.
Oh,
he was off the ball. I turn around and I'm like, out of anybody to make the mistake too, I would have not put my money on him to make the mistake.
That's the worst, bro. I was so heated.
I was so mad.
I remember against LaSalle, I had a pick. They were doing no huddle too, so I was exhausted. We were all exhausted. It was a freezing day too. I picked it off, got tackled at the 2-yard line. Go outside. I played defense too, but I was so exhausted I couldn't play defense at that moment. Next play, offense I meant. Next play, interception. I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me, bro. God,
you can't, bro.
Damn. It's come on.
Yeah.
But those plays are the worst. But speaking of, I did this with Fredo. Do you have any? Who was the most elite competition you played against? Anybody you can think of?
College?
Yeah, college. Yeah, I mean, college. Anybody who made it to the league or
I mean, a D lineman from Wagner. His name's Titus Leo. He got drafted. I didn't obviously. Granted, I played against him, but I wasn't like bashing heads with him. He was a freak, though. That was someone who was cool to see play. I talk about a lot. There's this kid who played at Duquesne. His name Aiden Garnes, and he actually played at West Virginia this year. And I'm hoping that he's gonna he'll make his way because he's nasty. But that was a kid, that was a respect game for sure. It was you found him after the last whistle, and he was a freak.
Yeah, that's what's up. Anybody? How about like some of your teammates that stuck out to you at either Central or Stonehill?
Oh yeah, you got Jermaine Corbett, our running back. He was this past year. He was at Merrimack. He'll be in the league somewhere for sure. That kid's nasty. He was someone who I really prided myself on how to run the football, and I saw him, and I've realized there's levels to this shit. He could he could do it all. He's pretty much my size. He's a little bigger than me. He's a little thicker than me. But he the way he runs is it's kind of like a bow and bow version of Alvin Kamara.
Damn.
Just the balance and the quickness and the burst. I mean, he could do it all. He excels pass blocking and pass catching. He was my roommate, and my other roommate too, Tom Buxton. He's at URI. He had 2 more years eligibility. Bigger than a refrigerator. This kid, massive. But the most impressive thing I've ever seen him do is when we first all met up when we were freshmen, we decided to play some basketball outside, and the way this kid moved in the post, I was like, this kid's a freak. Like his footwork in the post and how big, he's like 6'6", probably like 330, 340, and he was just light as a feather on his feet.
That's wild. So what do you think is the difference between people like that? You think they're just gifted, or?
I mean, yeah, everyone's gifted in their way, but growing up, they definitely worked their ass off. I mean, I don't think that anybody gets to the level that they're at without working their ass off. But there's just, especially a skill like football or blocking or running the ball. You got it or you don't, and you can work on it and refine it. But I think especially Jermaine was definitely born with the way he runs, and then Bucks, forget about it. I mean, his size and athleticism, and not only that, he's a willing blocker. He wants to stick his nose in there, and those are the traits that kind of when you have the ability and the size and things like that you have those traits. That's just something that takes you even further than you can go.
Must be nice.
Yeah, exactly.
Must be nice. But giving a shout outs to your former teammates or people you played against. But getting back to you with pro day. So anybody looking at my guy Cameron Alves, what do you have to offer to any team, UFL, NFL, CFL? What do you bring to the table now? You've learned from your teammates, learned from people you're training with, your trainers. So what do you have to bring to the table?
This is my pitch that I tell everybody. I'm a football player. I'm not a receiver, and I grew up playing every position. I played defense my whole life. I played offense my whole life. I block, I tackle, and I'm just I'm a willing football player. And I think that there's a difference. You hear people talk about it, someone who's a football player, someone who not only sticks their nose in there but understands why they're doing it. And I think I really bring that to the table. I love every aspect of the game, and I just want to keep playing in any aspect of the game. And I'm very versatile as far as I can pick up a skill quick and execute it to how the offense or whatever or special teams is trying to execute. And I think that, that's something that I bring to the table, hoping, to get an opportunity to do that in front of somebody. And, hopefully they can, want to buy some stock in a little gritty white kid from Rhode Island, because there's no such thing as under 100% over here. And that's not me. That's Rhode Island. That's our mentality.
Sure,
and
man.
I wear that chip on my shoulder pretty hard.
Do you have anybody from Rhode Island that inspires you or motivates you? Recently Liam Cohen just got the head coaching job at the Jaguars, which is pretty dope. Went to LaSalle. So anybody like that, you see oh, this guy did it. I can do it. Even obviously you want to first and foremost continue playing. But there's is coaching on your mind? Oh, he's head coach of the Jaguars. I could potentially do that. Anything like that comes to mind?
I mean, I'd be sitting here lying cold stone if I didn't tell you that I wasn't thinking about. I mean, I love the game, and that's the next step after you're done playing. Will I coach or not? I don't know. I just know that in some way, shape, or form, I think I'm always going to have to be around football just because what it's done for me. Liam Cohen, definitely. I mean, I've been following him, his story. My dad coached against his dad, and they were good friends and rivals back in the day. So he would always tell me about him and how I always followed him when he was with the Rams. Most recently the Bucks, when he was with Kentucky as well. Honestly, somebody that really inspires me, it's a name that you might not know, Bob Wylie. You ever hear of that name?
Will Blackman actually just tweeted that, commented on his post recently. Just gave that as a name for the Rhode Island Hall of Fame.
Oh yeah, no, easily. So Bob Wylie, he was best friends with my grandfather, West Warwick, born and raised. He's the Set Hut guy. You ever remember the Browns Hard Knocks a couple years ago? The big guy Set Hut, his stomach jumped. It was all over Instagram.
Yep.
So that's how I explain him, Bob Wylie.
Hilarious.
But he's a very good family friend, and he did it. He's there, and he's still in the league. Obviously, he's kind of retired now. He'll do some consulting and some deep diving if coaches ask him. But he's been around. God, I don't even know how many teams he's been with. CFL, NFL, probably more than half of the league for sure. And he's somebody who came from. Not only did he come from Rhode Island, but with a family tie that did it and was able to affect the state. And I think that's somebody I really look up to. And then obviously I've talked about it on this podcast before, but my big dog Matt Sewell, that's my guy. I know he was constant name that pops up. He we're very, very similar. He was a quarterback at Portsmouth and then had to transfer to play with slot. I was a quarterback at West. He transferred to play at slot. And I was fortunate enough to hit him up when I was getting ready to play receiver, and he was still training and playing, and I was like, hey, I don't know if this guy's going to want to train with me, but let me take a shot. I was like, hey, man, you teach me the ropes. And without hesitation, he took me under his wing, and, I really based off everything I know as a receiver from what he taught me. And we had a lot of long mornings and nights, down at Portsmouth High, just working on some things. And
damn, you were going to Portsmouth?
Yeah, I was going to Portsmouth every day. We were working out, lifting, running routes. I was anything you didn't say no to him. It's somebody you want to be like. If he said he was running routes on the moon, I was there. I was trying to be around him as much as I could, and he really taught me everything. And he was someone who's my size, my weight, from my state, from the same position change that I did, and I just tried to emulate him as best I could. And I not only did he get me better and allow me to base my fundamentals at receiver in order to have a career at Stonehill and Central Connecticut, but he's one of my great friends now. Anytime I'm going through a big change, he helped me a lot when I was transferring. He helped me a lot, how to get ready for the pro day and what scouts look for and what times I need to get and how to fix my routes. I still hit him up about everything, and he responds just like that. And we're going in depth about stuff, and he's he actually just got engaged, and he's starting a life. And even then, I know I'm the younger guy, but I still will check up on him. Hey man, how's life going, how's work, things like that. So it's a good friendship that I'm gonna take with me for the rest of life.
That's what's up, man. Yeah, as you grow older, you're still young, but I'm
trying to be,
but the older you grow, the more you realize people start dropping off. The people you stay in contact with them start being a lot less and less. So it's pretty dope when you have those connections. Even when people check up on you, like you said, you're younger, but I'm sure you still, it still feels good getting checked up on no matter who you are.
Yeah.
But it's pretty dope, man. But that is a commitment, because that drive to Portsmouth is deceiving. It is very far.
Yeah, no, I used to hit it every day, and then when I got into college and he was still training, I would wake up, work, and I would be down there from 3 p.m. to 7 or 8 at night.
Damn.
We would do lifts and a bunch of speed stuff and then hit some fields. So I was with him. I spent a lot of time with Maddie Sewell. A lot of time.
That's what's up, man. Yeah, I checked out his highlight tape. It is pretty elite. It's pretty elite.
Yeah.
Man. So speaking about fitness, so you touched upon this last time. You have not dropped at all. I have. Gotta get back into shape. But so what's that looking like? So what's your training regimen right now for the pro day? Has it changed from you being at Stonehill and Central Connecticut? Is it a lot more workouts now? What's that the difference now for the pro day?
It's still the same time consumption, but it's a lot more detailed and specific. Obviously, I'm not training. I am training for football. I'm not training for a football season. That's the difference. For right now, the point in time I'm training for a pro day. So a lot of my workouts and things like that look a little different. I'm still, 6 days a week, but it's a lot of, one session will be, focusing just on vert, then we'll come back, we'll do some bench, and then one day's sprint starts, one day's lateral direction, one day's broad jump. So I'm working out every day. Obviously I'm training every day, but I'm not just hitting weights and then hitting routes. It's a lot of movement specific training right now.
So is there days that you're weightlifting, you don't even weight lift, you're doing strictly just vert stuff, you're doing just speed stuff. Is that a difference?
Yeah, that's definitely a difference because I grew up. I'm a meathead. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm an undercover meathead. So those days mentally, I'm kind of like, all right, relax. You don't gotta lift right now. Like we're focusing on running.
Yeah, you're like, that's all.
Yeah, sometimes I'm like, damn, I don't know. But that's something you gotta grow up because like if you wanna, I had to grow up. If I wanted, to attain what I'm trying to attain right now, you don't need to be going to lift. Like we need to work on our cuts and our starts and things like that. That's more of a workout than killing your body with whatever lift you're going to go hit later.
No, for sure. So just like Monday, you'll just do an hour of just on the field work and that's it. No gym.
So Monday, I'll tell you, Monday I hit acceleration, so 10-yard splits, hit a bunch of that, did a bunch of shuttle work. And then later in the day, came back, did my vert work, and then some legs. But the leg stuff now is it's more for force. It's like really, really specific to force production. So I did a lot of force production, things like that. I'm still, it was squat variation, jump variation, things like that. But I wasn't just, hammering legs.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you know this trainer helps a lot of NFL players out, actually, Joe DeFranco. Watch a lot of his stuff, and he said that's a big transition for like people training for pro days. Like you're not gonna be doing a lot of weightlifting.
No.
There's a lot of on the field work, and then they're just like that's all we're doing.
Yeah.
Like he had Triple H as a client, and he wanted to train for like fitness or whatever, and he had that same mentality. Like we're not doing bench today.
Yeah.
Like we're not doing squats, and it's just so weird for them not to do that. There's a hard transition. A lot of people don't follow through with it because they think they're right. It's like, well, why'd you reach out to a trainer if you're going to go do back the same shit you're doing before?
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's so. Do you not? But weight's still included in your workouts.
Oh yeah. Wait, right now I'm at 3. I'm lifting 3 days a week right now. I was at 4. The last like 2.5, 3 weeks, I've dropped it down to do more. Focus on more running. And when I say running, it's more skill specific. So like, yeah, I'm moving, but we may be working on a turn in either the 3-cone or the shuttle, or I may be working on my get off for the 40, things like that.
Do you feel like body wise, energy wise, do you feel better? Do you feel the difference?
I feel way better, and kind of kicking myself in the ass for it because I'm like, damn, was I kind of burning the candle at two ends here for a while?
So
like, I feel real good.
You're no longer trying to do like the 600-pound that's like a squat or deadlift anymore.
No, definitely, I'm still doing squat. I'm still doing squat. I'm still trying to push the squat. It's addicting. It's a drug, but in a much more controlled and specific way, right? I'm not just getting up there and hammering it. You're hitting it on a certain rep scheme for a certain goal. And I think that's something that I'm like, okay, you don't need to just slam your head against a wall to get better.
Instead of doing the typical 3 sets of 10.
No. I'm doing maybe like, all right, we're going to do like a 2x3 with a jump in between or an ISO, something like that. I'm obviously just spitballing here, but there's a lot more. It's very much more specific.
So obviously this is a focus on football. But do you ever see like a route for yourself with fitness or like being a trainer or anything like that?
I've definitely thought about it. I mean, it's going to be part of my life. Like I've been doing it ever since, I could remember, and it's something that, I really look forward to. And I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of question marks right now. There's a lot of question marks, but you're supposed to have that.
Yeah, for sure.
That means, yeah. So I'm happy that, I'm still trying to figure it out outside of football. I'm definitely I'll be involved in some way. Whether it's, I don't know, the gym trainer, helping out, volunteering, I'm going to be around it. But it's definitely going to be a part of my life for sure. I love it. It's so much fun for me.
That's what's up, man. How's your meal plan? Has it changed at all? Or?
No. Honestly, I've been eating the same probably since I was like 14, 15. Nothing's really changed.
Are you like one of those Ocho Cinco freaks? Like, oh, I'll eat McDonald's. Are you actually eating like, grilled chicken? Are you eating like...
Yeah, I'm probably like 85-15, like 85%, like really, really strict, but then you put something in front of me, I'm like, come on, dude, like, let me eat that. I'm gonna smack that.
The people claim, oh yeah, you can eat whatever you want, Big Macs every day is like, I'm telling you right now, look at me, that's why I look like this, and look at him, there's a difference. I've been eating Big Macs and a lot of travel, a lot of eating stuff, like, I'm in, I don't know, Turkey, I'm about to eat this random thing they're known for, and that it catches up to you pretty quick.
Yeah, but you got to try. Like, I'm trying that too. If I'm in a different country and I'm like, yo, I'm trying all the food that they're known for. Absolutely.
Yeah, but in Japan, I tried a sea urchin. was not good.
Whoa,
But still gotta try it out.
Sea urchin's kind of crazy.
It was wild. It tasted like the beach. Like literally, it tasted like sand. It was disgusting.
Do you like on the inside of it?
It was a sushi roll.
Oh,
So it was.
damn.
I can put it up. I'll put this clip right there. When I ate it, instant regret. Instant like this is disgusting.
Yeah.
But you gotta try it out though.
Yeah,
But,
exactly.
But it's also you gotta stay balanced though. If not,
Yeah,
it catches
that's
up to you
what it
pretty
is.
fast. Then it rolls into oh, I'm at the club. After the club, oh, I get Taco Bell 5 times a week, and then it catches up pretty quickly. Yeah, man. So you're just focused on this right now. Like you're not going out. It's strictly just all balls to the wall right now.
I'm fully in. I mean, I think about it a lot. Like it's just I've been thinking about this point in my life probably since I got to high school, right? So what's that, 8 years now? I've been really just thinking about, the moment of the time period when, you're training and you're getting ready to hopefully become a professional. So I just remind myself a lot like that. Like, remember just probably the hours you've spent thinking about the moments you're in now. And, are you going to let your little self down, by just fucking off?
For sure, man. So what's like the schedule looking like? Is the pro day coming up soon? I honestly have no idea. I know we're filming this March 4th. The pro day just happened for, the Power Fives.
Yeah.
So how's that looking like for you? What's your,
I'll be at the end of the month. I'm trying to lock a spot down right now, but it's going to be probably anywhere from those last 4 or 5 days of the month. So probably like the 25th to like the 30th, I'd say, is going to where I'd land. And, I'm just kind of coming down to the wire. I've been pro day specific training since the first week of December. So it's crazy that we're here now and we're talking about, getting specific with it, and it's coming down. I'm excited. I think I got some things cooking that show up and show out. I'll be able to kind of be able to turn some heads, and I'm hoping to.
What do you feel the most confident in? Like what drill?
Shuttle.
Shuttle?
5-10-5. 5-10-5. We been doing well. Always can do better. I'm pumped. I love that drill. It's something I just love to do. I get excited when I run the shuttle, and we're gonna put a real good time out there. Real good time out there.
I love to hear that, man. So you said the first week of December. Have you seen your improvements from that week?
Oh, insane! It's insane to look back at it. Yeah, I mean, just I haven't changed my body wise. I tried to. I tried to take the route of dropping a lot of weight. To come in kind of boxer mentality, come in light as a feather. And that I didn't respond well to that. So to be the exact metrics I'm at from when I started, and to just see, my numbers and everything, just flourish into what they are now. I mean, it's kind of cool. It's really cool. And that's about 2.5, 3 months.
That's crazy. That's really wild.
It's nuts. It's not a lot of time.
So you're just trying to stick to the same way you said?
Yeah, I was going to try and I tried to get down pretty light. I'm probably I'm like 185 right now. I tried my best to get down to like 177. I did well, but just like, strength wise and, energy and force output wise, I wasn't firing like how I used to.
I mean, that's crazy that
it's a lot of you got to kind of try some things too. Like I call my trainer and we call just fuck around and find out stuff. And, through that mentality, as much as detailed and as specific as we've been, it's crazy that, some of my biggest breakthroughs have been through just fucking around and seeing what would work. And you're like, oh, damn, you're like, that kind of felt good. Well, let's put it this way, and let's put your foot this way. And you're like, whoa, all right, that's a lot better.
Yeah, do you ever find yourself doing that with playing around with carbs and protein and healthy fat, stuff like that? Or
now, yeah, this whole process has taught me a lot about that. I never ever tracked my food or anything like that, or knew how many grams of whatever I was taking, into my body. But through this process, I really have, and I've kind of figured out, how I respond to a lot of carbs. I respond to not a lot of carbs, high protein, low protein, high fat. I found, you feel it out, and it's really
your
cool.
Perfect formula?
I think I did not eat a lot of carbs. I did not eat as many carbs as I should have.
Isn't that crazy? Because
I was probably almost 100 to 125 grams short. That's a lot.
That's a lot. People always think I need to lose weight. I can't eat carbs. No, you're probably not eating enough carbs.
Yeah. It's
good
really,
carbs.
Yeah.
Not like Burger King carbs. I mean, like sweet potatoes and that good stuff. It's a lot, but you need it though.
Especially as an athlete too. I just totally took that for granted. And then when I actually was putting it into like laying out what I was eating and looking at the numbers, you realize I was shorting myself a lot. It was kind of crazy.
And you feel way better now?
Way
with
way
more
better.
carbs?
Like way more energy. It's kind of nutty actually.
Really
the
is
amount of
wild.
energy I have now. I kind of look back like, whoa, like what the hell was I doing?
That's pretty crazy. I feel like you always had high energy, so you have even more.
Even
now.
more, just like just being alert, like the alertness to it. Like I don't have to like really gear myself up for something anymore. I'm kind of ready, and it's like, all right, let's get in that mode. If we got to get in that mode, I don't have to make it's not a big like, all right, like let's fire myself up here. I'm kind of already ready at that level.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up, man. We kind of touched upon Rhode Island football earlier.
Yeah, let's do it.
Do you have any good? I'm not sure. Are you still keeping track upon like Rhode Island high school football?
I do. I mean, I because my dad still helps out at West, I'm still pretty up to date on what goes on. I usually get the weekly calls. I'm lucky enough. Cena and I were able to when I have been here in the summers, I was able to help out a little bit, before I had to go to camp. So I try and stay around. I mean, that program just did so much for me, and I love that program to death. So any way I'm able to come back and kind of just give little tidbits of information or kind of just be around it, I try to.
Yeah. So, man, do you see I feel like Rhode Island was down, then it hit a little stride. How do you think it is right now? You said you're getting weekly updates. So how do you think Rhode Island football, high school football, is doing at this moment in time, coming into the 2025 season?
I think it's better than when I was here. I mean, there's a lot more. That just goes to show you, like within 5 years, like it's on the trajectory it needs to go.
For sure.
I think that there's a lot more buy-in at a younger age from kids around the state, and they're doing a lot more than kids my age were. And I think that's huge. That's something I'm jealous of, to be honest, because I see it now, all the different things you can do.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm kind of jealous of that. And I think, just athletes get better. That's just a tale of time. I mean, so I'm just
crazy.
with that formula and better athletes, I'm just hoping for, a lot more kids to be successful. And I try, when I come down to West, I do try and tell them like, hey, like I've ran this race and I'm still running this race. So like, ask questions. I'm like, just ask anybody who's before you, like ask them a bunch of questions. Cause like Rhode Island is obviously such a small place and everybody looks out for each other, especially at the football level and the collegiate level, who plays college football from Rhode Island. Yeah. And that's just because the state's so small. Where people are and how they're doing. So I try and just tell the kids, like, ask anybody. Like, people, we look out for each other around here. So make sure that you ask questions and you find out information that you may not know, because we'll help you and people from Rhode Island will come down and help you.
Yeah, 100%, bro. Because it's crazy because, like, once you play college and you know who the elite people are, like you said, like everyone knows who each other are. Mm-hmm. Like even him, I've seen Fredo. Like everyone knows who.
Yeah, I know Fredo. Yeah, exactly.
You just know who the former Gatorade.
And I would ask Fredo a bunch of questions when he was at the back half of his career, and I was at the back half of my high school career. When I was, we talk about getting recruited and different workouts and things like that, and I would ask him a bunch of questions. I remember one time, Angel and I were down at Bryant with a bunch of the college kids. I was getting bullied running routes, trying to figure it out like every rep, just getting my ass kicked, getting better, hearing what they have to say, what am I doing wrong, how do and I was just kind of just trying to be a sponge.
For sure, bro. Speaking of Rhode Island high school, like how do you feel like the wave of everyone transferring out of the state?
I'm not a fan, and I'm an old head when it comes to that. I'm really not a fan. I think that I'm also a public school kid too, like so I really hold that that massive chip on my shoulder. Like I don't really think you need to do that. I don't think you need to go anywhere. It's what you make of it, right? Like the kind of what we were talking about at the beginning. Like if you want it that bad, you'll find a way. If you want something that bad, you'll find a way. Now, granted.
You don't think that's finding a way though?
I think that there's levels to it, right? I think there's a difference between chasing it and it actually being in your wheelhouse. And I think that, within the state, I'm an old head when it comes to it, bro. I just am. Like, I don't know. I'm old school when it comes to that. Like, I didn't do that. I didn't go to a private school. I didn't go anywhere. I just got up and tried to get after from what I had at public school. And I don't know. I don't think I'm super biased. I don't know. I'm gonna be on the back half of that argument for sure. But there are definitely other perspectives.
But you don't think that if you would have transferred out to Florida or California or, wherever, Texas, you don't think that you would have been a bigger name?
I mean, you always want to say yeah. I'll say yeah because definitely you bet on yourself, right?
There's kids your size from Florida getting Power 5 offers.
But if you look at it, right, if I say I transferred, all right, say I left my junior year in reclass, right? So I redid my junior year and senior year. Pick a state. Say I went to
Texas.
Say I went to Texas, right? I'm at a high school in Texas, right? Off the rip, for me, this is me personally. Off the rip, I'm switching positions. I'm not a Texas high school quarterback. Done. That's sealed. Done. That's done. All right.
I mean, Kyler was your size, but
he
played
played
for the most part.
Yeah, at that level, right?
Yeah.
There's levels to it.
Yeah, I mean,
There would
it's
have been someone there probably like, all right,
like Kyler.
I'm a good football player, but am I a better quarterback than this kid? Probably not.
Yeah.
So here we go. Now I'm having to learn a different position, right? And when I had to learn slot, shit was ugly. Ugly.
Brutal for the first couple months.
Like I'll send you a clip of my first routes and my most recent routes. And that's a 5-year time span. It was ugly. So I'm going to have to go through that growing phase. All right, there's going to be kids that are more developed there anyway. So now what am I going to do? Like, it's a question mark.
Yeah.
Obviously, at the end of the day, you make a decision that's going to benefit you. You bet on yourself, right? But make sure you look outside yourself. Like, take a big step back and look at it. Look at the big picture.
Yeah. That's tough. That's really tough for a lot
It's
of people,
tough,
though.
and
To
it's
be honest
a
with
tough
yourself.
argument. You got to really be honest with yourself.
Yeah, it's funny because I had I know Coach Mike from Central.
Oh yeah,
and I was like, "What do you think? What do you say to these kids who come up to you and they're like, I want to make it to the league?" He's like, "I tell them you're probably not. Like, it's like that's the reality. Like, you're probably not. Like, is there the quitties? Of course." But for the most part, from Rhode Island, you're probably not making it to the league.
Yeah.
And that's a tough reality, a tough pill a lot of people got to swallow.
Yeah.
Because they think, they're league bound. And I don't think people understand that level you need to be at.
Especially when you talk about just athletes, right? Like, you talk about Quiddy Pay, the specimen he is.
Dude.
And not only that, screw that, the work ethic and the character he had, combined with that specimen, bang. That's a first-round case right there. That's a first-round story. Now, do you have bits and pieces of every single part of that in other athletes? Yeah, but not combined to a super fucking human like that. So you really have, like, there's a lot that plays into it as far as, like, just getting, like, there's so much that goes into it.
I remember when I first saw him at Hendrick and Brandon's freshman year, I thought that was their lifting coach.
Yeah,
I was
that's
like,
what yeah.
That kid's a senior? Like,
yeah,
Jesus.
and they were handing him the football.
That
Tackle
is
him.
Absurd.
Yeah, I'm all set.
There's that photo on Hendrick's. You could go deep dive into their Instagram. They were playing some school from Connecticut. The entire team tried to tackle him, and they couldn't.
No.
All 11 kids
Yeah,
couldn't bring him down.
That's just the athlete he is, and not even that, like the person he is. Like, I've met him a good amount of times, and he's just has such good character. Like, I'll still comment on his Instagram stuff and things like that, and he's still make sure he gets back to me. Like, he remembers the people who are around him. Even me, I wasn't around him. I'm a young dude. I looked up to him. I wanted to be like him, and he's still to this day.
That's what's up, bro.
That's props right
That's
there.
what's up, man. Yeah, people don't understand that, like, the perfect formula. Like, the dude's incredible. Like, LeBron James.
Mm-hmm.
How incredible that is. How he's playing at his age is insane.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if everyone can do that, everyone would be doing it.
Exactly.
But he's the only person from this class still. He's playing better than young dudes in the league right now.
Yeah.
He's better than his son.
Yeah.
It's literally insane.
Better than your son. Yeah. Wow. That's nuts. There's just so much, like, even mentally, like, I've learned everyone talks about it. It's mental. The higher you go in sports, it's mental. I'm like, yeah, whatever. But you learn it really is, because, like, at the end of the day, everybody makes a decision. Are they gonna get it? Or are they gonna go through the motions? And, and that's, I've been able to see that, and I'm a product of that. That I made the decision that I was gonna go balls to the wall, and that carried me in my career more than my athletic ability.
Yeah, for sure. What do you think that stems from? Like, that drive? Because we have mutual friends, who are, and I was talking to them at the end of their college careers, and they're like, "F you, man. Honestly, I'm glad it's over. I can't. Yeah. I'm beat down. I can't even. I can't think about playing one more game. So what makes you want to continue playing and get to that next level, and trying to strive for to go to balls to walls and fulfill your dream."
If I really boil it down, we honestly kind of touched on it. It's me growing up under the magnifying glass with the football name I have, and I think that I really made that my personality growing up, and I really wanted I really want to be someone who does it, who comes from the smallest state, who went the public school route, who wasn't highly recruited, all those things stacking up. I think that I definitely hold that pridefully and hold that on my shoulder. And I don't know why. I really can't tell you why it still ignites a fire in me, but something in me just wants to make that happen for the state, for everybody that, came before me, because obviously being around my dad and being around football, I was able to meet all of these, just absolutely great people when it comes to Rhode Island football. And I wanted to kind of use myself as a vessel to, extend it and branch it out further. And I think that's kind of really where it stems from. I hope that was a good answer. I mean, I don't know.
Oh yeah, man.
I'm still trying to figure it out to this day, because I don't know why. I don't know why it still beats like it does, but that shit fires, dude.
Yeah, man.
Still
it's gonna
fires.
translate to other things in your life. Like, you're gonna be successful no matter what you do, because you have that drive, and you can't teach that. Like you said, you can't. No one can make LeBron go to the court at 4 a.m. every single day.
No.
You either have it or you don't, and that translates to other parts of your life. So
thank you.
And that's definitely a great trait to have. And any team would be blessed to have you. Obviously wish the best for you. Hope you can help other Rhode Island people out. That's what the EG Pod Thunder is here for as well, trying to uplift Rhode Island football. Anybody who can benefit from hearing other stories is what I love to do and try to put out in the Instagram, YouTube, anywhere where we are. So that's definitely your pro day story. Everything about football, Rhode Island football. You can touch upon quickly. Last time you were here, how about the Celtics, baby?
Dude.
Celtics, baby.
Let's go.
I'm wearing Lakers stuff right now.
I know, yeah.
But Celtics, baby.
Hey, they made it happen. And shout out Joe Mazzulla, man. Talking.
Hey.
I know we got a hard on for Rhode Island here, but seriously, that makes it even better. Shout out to C's getting it done. Don't get me wrong, I'm a basketball fan. I'm not a huge basketball fan, but there's something about seeing the Celtics win it. You just get fired up.
Yeah, man.
You just get fired up.
Mazzulla, bro, happened. Rhode Island ties. Went to Hendricken.
Yeah.
So dope, man.
I was blessed to play for his dad.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah.
Heard his dad was the coolest dude.
Coach Dan, just thank you for being in my life. God rest your soul. You definitely changed my life for sure.
What are some things that stuck with you from Coach Mazzulla?
So Coach Mazzulla was. So I played on the Johnston Breakers in middle school. I played some AAU basketball. Was still hanging on to those hoop dreams, and AAU culture, I didn't know anything about it, but Coach Mazzulla was the man. It was not AAU culture. It was we're playing basketball and we're getting better. I remember being at Ferry Middle School in July. It is 97,000 degrees in there, and the first thing I did, and all the Johnson kids, they all played together all year round, and I'm the new kid coming in, right? I remember doing this drill where you take the basketball, you have to jump, you have to touch the backboard, come back down, lay up, catch it, other side, jump, touch the backboard, and we had to hit those till we puked pretty much. And that was my first introduction there, and I needed to prove myself, and I needed to show them that I was I wanted to be a player. I wasn't just anybody random. And I remember that was my first practice, and I was like, whoa. I was like, Coach Dan's a little bit different now.
So he put some toughness into you.
Toughness, absolutely. And he put toughness in me through somebody that wasn't my father. And that was one of the first times that my dad was not my coach. And, he commanded the utmost respect, and everybody gave it to him no matter who it was. If Coach Dan talked, you listen, and you listen intently. And I think that, I still take a lot of his lessons and just how he was very, straightforward with us from a young age. He told us how it was even when we were playing AU basketball in Rhode Island, right? And by no means was it the NBA.
Yeah.
But, he taught me that, you're gonna do tough things, but he taught me through someone that wasn't my dad, and I needed that at that time. And he really, I respect the hell out of him. I talk about him as much as I can. Cam Simone. Shout out Cam on that team. Hey, shout out Cam's Corner. He was on that team. We always joke around. Shout out Iverson. Play Iverson. Hey, we ran that thing. We ran that thing
That's
1,000 times,
bro. That's good though, because having a different coach other than your dad.
Yeah, it was great.
Because me and Brandon are pretty close, and we used to go to the gym together. And it got to a point where it's just it was not working out. He finally went to one of his friends' dad, who's a big person in the gym. And then he said he just needed it at that point.
Yeah.
We were just butting heads too much.
Yeah.
He's like, all right, bro, we had to get away from each other. Like, he wasn't listening to me no more. We said
I get like
that part.
I get like that with my sister too. I try and tell her what to do and things like that. She don't want to hear it. She's like, get the hell out of here. Get the hell out of here. I know what to do.
Yeah, that's a funny pod. Go check it out. But how's she doing? Quick.
Fucking beast, dude.
Balling it out.
Dude, she's a fucking beast.
I think her back on the pod. Maddie, I
She
get an update from you.
Second team all conference this year. She's been a starter, but she didn't come off the field, and it was pretty evident when she was she was around the she didn't go when she came off the field. You got worried. You were like, what's going on here? Somebody get her a water and an IV and get her out here now. She's a beast. I mean, she's doing so well. She's a senior now, so she's making a push. Hopefully, a captain. That'd be nice. I mean, she should be. She leads by example. She does the right thing whenever she can. So I mean, she has the character for it. But she's athletically, dude. It actually pisses me off. She's a beast.
I love to hear that. I love she's doing good. Quick ending of the pod. Cam's predictions for the Patriots upcoming season.
Yeah, let's go. So I think we got our guy in Drake May. That's no question, right? And everyone wants to talk about, offense, things like that. But we need to load the box up. I think our box, anybody that O-line, D-line, linebackers, right? I think that obviously we do have some things we need to fix, but Drake May's our guy. But we got to get some guys in front of him because I was able to go to the Rams game this year. That was cool.
That's dope.
I was able to, not only did I watch Patriots, but it was cool to see Stafford and Kupp and Puka. That was dope to see. But he's the truth.
Vrabel's a big get. I mean,
Vrabel's a guy. How do you not like Vrabel? I love that the band's getting back together. Kind of, we got McDaniels.
Low-key pissed off because I feel like you guys might put it together before we do. We being the Dolphins, by the way.
I know.
I feel like you guys
it's looking that way. It's looking that way.
Oh my god.
I mean, our secondary's been elite. It is. We got those guys. Gonzo's a beast. I mean, you got the Joneses, dude.
Yeah, I mean, the Dolphins broke my heart this year. Tua got hurt. I was at that game, season ticket holder. I was at the Dolphin game where Tua got hurt. Instantly, the entire stadium was like, "We're fucked. Yeah, we're done." Literally, it was like, "We're done," and then we were done. Yeah. So, but also, I don't know how I feel. Tua's healthy, we're good. Tua's not healthy, we're fucked. So, I mean, pretty much how we go.
You got to like Coach McDaniel, though.
Yeah, I like him.
How do you not?
I like him, but his third down play calling is
I root for him, though. I root for him. I mean, I love as much as you're in our division. I think the Dolphins. I mean, I really like. They're watching their offense.
When they're healthy, it's fun. But when we're not healthy, we have no backups. And,
that's hard. That's the hard part.
That's the hard part. Yeah. But I mean, and you can't come up with excuses. Look at the Lions. They were injured like crazy. Yeah, I mean, they had a playoff letdown. But during the season, they were elite. I mean, with all those injuries. So how can you complain?
They were rolling people.
Yeah, man. Do you agree with Josh Allen wins MVP?
Yeah. But I love both of them, dude. It's so hard. Who am I to start to talk about that is how I think about it. Obviously, I'm not even going to get into it. I don't know. I love Josh Allen. I love Lamar. Not going to lie, though, when I saw that Lamar had, 40 tutties and 5 picks? Was that the number?
Yeah, it was insane.
I saw that. And
I think it might be a little bit Lamar fatigue.
I was like,
all right, we're kind of sick of this. Let's give Josh Allen MVP. Like, kind of like how LeBron stopped winning MVPs. It's
a quote-unquote a running back through 40 touchdowns.
Exactly. How do you not give it to him?
The fact that people wanted to make him a different position is outside of me, dude. It makes no sense. He's a stud. He's so fun to watch.
But also, if Josh Allen's not on the Bills, they aren't as good as they are.
I still think, though, honestly, to talk about them, it's cool because it's the new Brady Manning, right? Mm-hmm. It's kind of like obviously you got Mahomes, but like when you're talking about really comparables, it's Josh Allen and Lamar, right? Sure. So that's a cool argument that you can kind of reinstill fire. I think the most valuable player in the NFL this year, I don't care, it was Saquon Barkley.
Just got paid.
It was Saquon Barkley.
Just got paid. That was incredible.
And the fact he should have won it because if you like the Eagles, obviously Jalen Hurts was down for a little bit. Look what they did in the Super Bowl. They ran the football. And you know what? You don't win games unless you run the football. That's a tale as old as time. And Saquon was the heart of it.
He was unbelievable. Deserves that money, rightfully so. Even if I don't think he's going to, but even if he had a huge drop-off, it was worth it. Just for that, beginning of the Super Bowl. Out of respect. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, man, so Patriots, do you think you guys are going to do good this year? Or is this like
Give me a line. What do we think?
For the Patriots?
Yeah, give me a line.
I think you guys compete, but I think you guys, compete for a playoff spot, but gotta be just out the playoff bracket. But then 2 years from now, you
Either
guys be
way,
competing.
a step in the right direction is what we
100%.
need. We need a step in the right direction. And we got a major tease when we beat the Bengals week 1. I was like, holy shit, the boys are back. And then, couldn't just get it together. I just want to see consistency, consistent, running the football, consistent being able to protect our quarterback and build around that guy. I think that'll be a big plus for this year.
100%. It's a little bit more difficult when you don't have Brady. Welcome back.
Everything's difficult when you don't have Brady.
Yeah, welcome back
you
to
look
that.
at even if you look at just the NFL now and quarterback play, you're like, holy shit, he was him. Like he was really that guy.
100%. 100%. Mahomes probably the closest thing to it. Well, I think people are a little bit tough on Mahomes. I was like, dude, look what he's accomplished this far into his career.
How old is he? Is he not even 30, right?
He's like 26.
Yeah, he's a beast. He's nasty.
It's ridiculous. The narrative that no, you can't talk about him and Brady no more. It's like he could still win 5 more. There was a 9-year gap.
You're telling me
Brady
there's no way he doesn't play till he's touching 42. Yeah. Come on, he's thinking about that in the back of his head. He's trying to get there. He's 100% chasing him, 100%. And he's going to play till he can't.
He has that clutch gene, man. You cannot teach.
You can't. No.
You cannot teach that.
No.
Did you see when he trucked that dude from the Niners?
Yeah, he's a beast. He's a winner. He's a winner. People shit on him. I don't know why. People just have too much time on their hands to complain. That guy's a winner, dude.
It's unbelievable. I wish we had that.
Yeah.
I was at the Chiefs-Dolphins game. I'm not sure if you were on since that point. But, people can complain all they want. It's like, dude, that game was freezing. For him to even throw the ball as much as he did, people are like, oh, look at Tua did awful. It was like, no, Mahomes just did incredible. You know how fucking cold it was?
Got the job done,
That ball was
dude.
like a brick.
Yeah.
For him to even do that in that setting is incredible. And, I don't come with no excuses. They just kicked their ass. They were a better team. You cannot teach perfect teams like that. Them, the Patriots. Are you a big person of the referees held out the Chiefs?
I mean, because I'm a Patriots. Because I'm a Patriots guy.
You're kind of a Chief hater at the same time.
The only thing I'll say is look at. How do I want to say it? The only thing I'll say is look at the amount of picks Mahomes thrown and that have gotten called back from a pass interference. Compare it to the Patriots and the dynasty, and then that's my argument. Other than that, I have no say in anything.
There's a statistic that came out that Tua draws the most penalties. When? Where? I watched every Dolphin game.
Draws the most penalties? Like PIs?
No.
Or personal fouls?
Personal fouls against him.
Nah, no.
Where? Where does Tua ever get these calls? He got concussed twice, didn't call a flag in either of them.
Yeah,
And Mahomes was 8th on the list. I mean, that's no way that's factual.
No, that's not.
There's no way.
They're trying to make people.
They're trying to make it away from it. It's impossible.
Yeah, they're trying to get people away from it.
Mahomes, Josh Allen gets all these calls. One thing I fucking hate, we'll end the podcast on this. How do you feel when Josh Allen does, or anybody, well, Josh Allen does it a lot, the slowing down for going out of bounds, gets hit, flag, or what are you going to do? He's going to pull up, and then he's going to go for a touchdown, then you look stupid. Go for an offensive guy.
I think it's chestnut checkers. I'm a fan of it only because I used to do that in high school and I've gotten 15-yard penalties for it because it's chestnut checkers and I understand where they're coming from. And if no one's gonna put a ruling on it, do it.
I see what you're saying.
It sucks. It's mad annoying and it sucks. But
because what's that defender gonna do? He launches.
No, he's screwed. You're screwed.
He's screwed either way.
It's very unfair.
He lets up. Josh Allen's gotcha.
Yeah.
Truck your shit.
It's mad. It's
and
unfair.
if not, goes out, then he gets hit.
Nah, it's bullshit. But props on him. Props on him because I remember I did it in my last. The last high school game I played as a quarterback. I did it. I got a call because I slowed up. And what I used to do is I used to slow up, and then when I got hit, I would grab the hip pocket jersey of the dude who hit me, and I would fall with my momentum and keep him and pull him on top of me, and then yard sale. So it looked like he laid me out, and you get the call.
It's insane because
free 15. That's a first down. First down.
How does a defender know? Do you know how fast you're going? It's impossible. You have to make that split decision. I'm launching or I'm not.
Yeah, it is. The rules are pretty unfair, biasedly towards defense. I mean, it's kind of ridiculous.
Insane.
Don't you just? What happened to just finding a motherfucker that's going to run through someone's face? That's defense, and that's football.
100%. Tua tries to do it, that never works. He always gets hurt.
Yeah, exactly.
And maybe I'm jealous because Josh Allen can do it, and
Josh Allen's a tank, bro.
Dude, he's insane. 6'6", dude, who just trucks people. I love that touchdown in the playoffs when he dove with the ball.
The sickest thing ever. That game was sick.
That picture was incredible.
I mean, that was the one where Amari threw it back to him, right?
Yeah.
Unreal.
That picture was incredible. I mean, early predictions. Draft hasn't happened yet. Free agency hasn't happened yet. What's your predictions for next year's NFL Super Bowl?
The Super Bowl. Let's see, dude. Bills. I like the Bills in there. You know what? You know what I'm gonna say, which is kind of. I'm gonna go Bills Packers. Bills with a dub. Screw it. Let's kind of change it up a little bit.
Wow, yeah.
I want to see Josh Allen do well though. I do, and Lamar. Maybe Bills or Ravens against the Packers. I'll say Bills because I said it first.
Hey, Bills.
What
Packers.
you got?
I think the Ravens are gonna pull it out.
Yeah,
I think it's gonna be
bro. They run the shit out of the ball. You can't stop that.
Ravens. I think Ravens, Lions.
Lions.
Lions. If they're healthy, obviously, based on health, no injuries. Ravens, Lions. I think I see Ravens pulling it out. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, I'm not gonna be that guy. Say Dolphins. Too many question marks. There's too many question marks. But yeah, man. Thanks for coming through the pod. Any last words ending off the pod, baby?
It's always a pleasure. Thank you. Hopefully, I got a great update for you guys in a couple months. That'd be sweet. And it's always a pleasure.
Hey, man. Thanks, my guy. Can't coming through. Check him out. Pro Day. Coming through some good results in the summertime. You never know, baby. Like, subscribe. Let's get it, baby.